Twitch flicks.
In 2012, Ray William Johnson was the #1 most subscribed YouTuber on the platform, which sounds like a great accomplishment, but it made him a target. Ray was in a feud with a merciless, greedy, and borderline evil company that was actively trying to leech every last dollar from big and small YouTubers all over the world. Some of your favorite creators were victims: PewDiePie, Moist Critical, Philip DeFranco, just to name a few. The ironic part is that this company, dubbed Maker Studios, was founded by other popular YouTubers. It really be your own people. However, the true kingpin
I don't know these people.
of the Maker Studios mob was a man called Danny Zappin, a federal convict who got out of prison and exploited the untapped gold mine of YouTube money. However, despite Ray's valiant efforts of exposing the evil tactics of Zappin's company, it wasn't enough. Maker Studios would go on to sell to Disney for over $500 million.
What the fuck?
This dream team, guided by the vision of a federal convict, got filthy stinking rich at the expense of hardworking YouTubers around the world. This is how they did it. YouTube launched in May of 2005. Danny Zappin, aka Danny Diamonds, was one of their early users because he was on house arrest with nothing to do but browse the internet all day. In 2000, Danny moved to Los Angeles to be an actor but failed. He claimed it's because he confronted Hollywood's gatekeepers after being denied multiple roles and they blacklisted him.
God.
Because of this, Zappin needed money, so he smuggled ecstasy, got caught, and was sentenced to 2 years in prison. Danny began uploading videos to sites like Crap TV before he was arrested, so YouTube was like a shiny new toy when he got out. YouTube gained 30,000 unique users a day after its beta release in May 2005, and by the time it officially released in December of that year, it would reach a combined 2 million total views a day, and by the following month, 25 million. Then YouTube reached its first 1 million viewed video, which was Brazilian soccer player Ronaldinho receiving his golden boots. In a feat of marketing genius, Nike uploaded the video under the alias Joe B, as if it was any other YouTube user instead of the multinational sneaker conglomerate. The advertising potential was looking extremely promising, which is why Google purchased YouTube for $1.65 billion within a year of their launch. With such potential for money to be made, not only did established companies get involved, but opportunistic creators as well. It's no secret that creators always have and always will be the foundation, the backbone of what makes this site amazing. YouTube content in the early days consisted mostly of just things related to Club Penguin, classical music masterpieces, memes, really bad tutorials, more memes, and Soulja Boy. But sprinkled in there were creators who made skits, storytime videos, theories of the universe, news channels, and the first YouTube influencers were starting to gain millions of views on their videos. YouTube then launched their partner program that pays a percentage of the advertising revenue when ads are shown on their videos. Most creators at this time treated YouTube like a fun hobby and not a career path. However, people like Danny Zappin saw an opportunity that he knew he could exploit. Danny told a few other creators about his vision: his girlfriend Lisa Donovan, her brother Ben Donovan, as well as Shay Carl and Kasim G, who were all YouTubers. One night, they all got together for a brainstorm session and laid the foundation for what would become Maker Studio.
Everything originally, the idea, we were all content creators and there are a few others, and the idea was if we could come together and share our audience and build an infrastructure, we could all scale and build a company, you know, to what it is today. And
I made videos, but I didn't know how to do other things. Like, I wasn't a great editor, and I didn't know how to, like, you know, shoot things, and Maker gave me a place where all that was handled, and all I had to do was just try and be funny.
And that working together, you know, you can help one another, you know, and I think driving audience to one another and helping new talent that hadn't been established grow an audience, I think is really exciting.
They essentially came up with the idea for a studio to share resources and talent, similar to Hollywood studios that have been around for 100 years. Danny thought this was revolutionary, but the idea was nothing special. Most people didn't know why we were founding Maker, and we couldn't get any of our actor friends to participate. The most popular YouTube content was low-quality webcam videos of people with simple ideas and a lot of personality. Why do they need a professional studio? Well, the answer was they didn't. And even 15 years later, many of your favorite creators today are just people in their room coming up with stuff. But Danny had a plan, and step one was to create a success story to prove this could work. Danny and the group launched a collaborative channel called The Station, which even included Shane Dawson, Philip DeFranco, and Hi, I'm Ron. Maker believed each of those stars could be used to direct fans to new artists, which inspired the company to build a network of affiliated channels. And they were right. They had immediate success with Hot Girls on Teen Cribs, amassing 60 million views.
What's up, MTV? My name's Ariel. Welcome to my crib.
Oh, I remember this actually. I watched this one.
Meet my less attractive friend, Jasmine. She's super ugly, but don't hold it against her.
The station established an office
that's
space where they would
classic.
connect during work days to plan, shoot, and edit the content. They recruited more people to be a part of the team. Andrea's Choice, What a Day Derek,
it's a
Cecily,
skit.
Fine Bros, who changed their channel to React, Michael Gallagher from Totally Sketch, Timothy De La Ghetto, the list goes on and on. Their main type of content were comedy sketches, similar to College Humor, but way worse.
I've been working at this bar for 2 months now, and I gotta say, these people are really into their craft beers.
Can I get a Pooch Daddy Saison?
You guys got any Blue Caboose barley wine?
One doppelganger doppelbock.
Hey, Teach, do you? Do I what? Do you? Splooge!
I would never!
You should. Splooge is the new cool thing.
Most of their humor was extremely low-hanging fruit, men dressing up as women, playing on racial stereotypes, and trying to make anything as sexual as possible. 99% of this content aged terribly, but this was a time where the edgier you were on YouTube, the more views you could get.
Guys, I got best chat. Guys, early day YouTube, it all aged poorly. There isn't a lot of things that aged well. Chat, because skits were, people haven't seen that before. So people did like the really basic skits or whatever, and it was really good at the time because that's all we had. So now skits kind of evolved. Now they're really good, and they're more like, you know, but at the time, it's all,
Put two hot
it's all we had.
spots on Abbott Kinney to see what they think about what's happening with the recession.
Danny Zappin was pretty much the only person at the station who wasn't on camera. That's because he was too busy figuring out how to get rich. Danny realized they had a money problem. They had a group of 20 or so creators with millions of subscribers, and they were generating tens of millions of views per month, but the ad revenue from the partner program wasn't enough. You see, the partner program in 2010 was not even close to what it is today. It was only available to a select group of very popular creators who had to apply and be accepted. But even those people weren't making significant money because the percentage split was terrible. The only way to make more money was to get more creators involved. But the studio only had so much space and employees to provide services to creators. This is where Danny's scheme began. Maker Studios
So there's MCN, yes, I was about to say MCN. There's MCN, chat, but Machinima was different. I think they acted like an MCN, but even more than that, they were also like in control. And it was a little bit more than an MCN, I think.
formed a multi-channel network, or MCN. Instead of only working with the in-house creators at the station, Maker would try to discover talent all over the world and sign them to the network, in exchange for 20, 30, sometimes 40 or 50% of the creator's ad revenue. Keep in mind, YouTube would send the entire sum of the creator's revenue to the MCN. The MCN would take their cut out and send the rest back to the YouTuber. That's like your paycheck going directly to your landlord. He pays your rent and then sends you the rest. It's hard to understand why anyone would be willing to give up such a large percentage and control of their income.
Because if they're in a network with all these million of subscriber, massive view YouTubers, they could get like some residual, and they think, guys, if I'm a small creator and I have no opportunities, right? If I'm with these guys, yeah, I'm losing 50%, but I'm gonna get more views because I'm with these guys. We're part of the team. That's the dream they're selling to them.
Most creators just didn't know how this business worked, and that's where Danny knew he could exploit it. However, Maker did provide some real value. First of all, Maker could get any channel who signed with them instantly monetized. The partner program was still limited access at this time, and Maker had direct connections with YouTube since it was comprised of the most popular creators. You also couldn't monetize gaming videos unless you had a partner network, because video game companies would copyright claim videos using game footage. Maker even had music label connections, and music creators could use copyright music or make covers without getting claimed. YouTube support was notoriously terrible, and still kind of is, but Maker would provide you with a dedicated team member to help you with all of your YouTube related issues. You even needed to sign to an MCN just to make custom video thumbnails. By April of 2011, Maker signed 150 channels that generated 325 million views per month. One of their signees was the number.
Because if YouTube's basic services work the way they're meant to, you wouldn't need any of the services. You wouldn't need to have thumbnails because it should be allowed for everybody. You shouldn't need a company to talk to them because they should respond to your emails and shit, but you just had to because the company is shit. It was
one
shit.
most subscribed YouTuber on the platform, Ray William Johnson. Their roster was very impressive with Ray and many other top creators, but Maker still didn't have enough money. So Danny raised $1,524,999 from a venture capital firm called Graycroft Partners. And at this point, fans still had no idea how serious this operation was, because the station's content was still just as unhinged as ever. All of the creators that signed to Maker were free to be as creative as possible, so you couldn't really tell there was an infrastructure around it. That's probably because it was still operated by creators who genuinely were interested in making videos rather than making money. But Danny was not operating in the interest of fans. Maker Studios was not taken seriously by the entertainment industry, they weren't respected, and that bothered him. He needed to legitimize the company. YouTube was known for low-quality content, which didn't excite investors.
I think the next stage that YouTube will eventually go to is what Netflix is doing. I think they'll step up and they'll start doing quality content and programming in the same manner. That's not just,
Incorrect.
Annoying Orange is huge and it's great, but the production value in a lot of it, and I'm not knocking them, but the production value.
Everybody was
on
wrong.
The majority of YouTube.
Everybody was wrong. They were wrong the whole time. Still wrong, and even after that, still. You guys say they did. Okay. They did a YouTube what is it? Guys, is that the YouTube fucking exclusive series with creators? YouTube originals. That shit's garbage. Bro, YouTube Red or whatever, or YouTube, bro, this shit's garbage. Nobody watched that shit. What are you on about?
YouTube videos is not there, but I think once they step up to that next level, and I don't know what your plans are, but
Vsauce was good, but Vsauce is always good,
it becomes
so
its own
doesn't matter.
network, just like Netflix and all these others that you're going to see popping up.
So Danny wanted to make their company as big and legit as possible. By mid-2012, they signed over 2,000 new channels and had viewership in the hundreds of millions. They leveled up from their previous makeshift office space to a now 40,000 square foot series of buildings in Culver City. They grew to 260 employees, a group that includes advertising sales, business development, and tech people. Maker tried to create animated series and shows that could be formed into movies, traditional television shows, merchandise, etc. But their most popular signees were still just regular YouTubers. Maker created what looked like a very successful production studio with multiple different departments servicing their clients, when in reality, it wasn't being put to use. And out of desperation, Danny Zappin made a critical error. Most of Maker's money was coming from their top few creators. Ray William Johnson
Chad, this guy, okay, maybe he's gonna explain.
was their cash cow. Danny approached Ray and said Maker needed a bigger cut of revenue from his online show xQc. He asked Ray to renegotiate their existing contract 8 months prior to its expiration. Ray said, the terms were incredibly aggressive. They wanted 40% of my YouTube channel's AdSense revenue after production costs, and more importantly, they wanted 50% of the show's intellectual property in perpetuity. And perpetuity means forever. He refused the new terms of the contract. Maker Studio took offense to his refusal, so they threatened to shut down his projects. When I politely refused their deal, as it was—
Brother, the company attempted to renegotiate their own deals with him 8 months ahead. Guys, I've never heard that anywhere. That's insane.
It's not in my best interest. They became increasingly aggressive. Negotiations quickly became a bizarre pissing contest between the heads at Maker Studios and myself, and I wouldn't hand over my intellectual property, and they wouldn't stop aggressively trying to get me to sign it over to them. On top of that, Ray claimed that they would not give him any of his AdSense money, because remember, it all goes to the MCN before the creator.
Now in the near future, xQc will no longer be part of the Maker Studios network, so I'm gonna film here for a while. Even if I don't have the proper equipment at home, you know what? Even if I have to film butt naked in a back alley, you guys are getting an episode, goddammit.
After Ray William Johnson announced his departure, Maker Studios released a petty public statement. Ray is still part of the Maker network. However, with the recent decline in viewership on xQc, it made sense for him to go back to producing the show himself. Maker providing a full production staff of 12 people, including a team of writers, was no longer a viable option for xQc. Ray vehemently denies that he ever had 12 people and writers working on his show, nor was his viewership declining.
I was about to say, yo, chat, his shit didn't decline. It was always high, it plateaued, and it was like this, but like super high up. It didn't decline. It declined way after when he offloaded the project entirely, I think.
To a meeting to resolve the issue, where the CEO promised to return Ray's YouTube AdSense account to him. However, that never happened. They haven't made reasonable attempts to give it back to me. They are now even trying to leverage my own AdSense account against me so that I will sign over all your favorite Martians' intellectual property, void my stock options in the company, and sign a confidentiality agreement to never tell the truth. We wouldn't know about this hostage situation if Ray didn't post all of the information in an article published by New Media Rockstars. The other thing that he revealed to the world was that Danny Zappin was a convicted felon, and that he was waiting for his criminal record to be expunged so that he could officially become CEO of Maker. The ex-con texted Ray at 1 a.m. and said, "Your lack of integrity and character are sad. F you, prepare for war, bitch." Ray tweeted that nasty text that Danny sent to him, and then Shane Dawson replied with, "I got the same text 3 years ago."
That makes no sense. They're the company. They made the contract. They tailored for him. They went out of their way to get him part of their project. Why is he malding it?
Oh,
It makes no sense
which
at
is
all.
interesting since Shane Dawson was a part of the original The Studio crew, then seemingly disappeared. Philip DeFranco said, "There's a theme here," seemingly hinting that he has had the same beef with Danny Zappin. Then the Fine Bros also implied the same thing. Kasim G seemed annoyed at Phil for speaking up. Philly D, you feeling okay? Kasim G, just wondering how you and your guys can sweep this one under the rug. This was one of the first big pieces of drama that YouTube had seen. Shay Carl immediately defended Danny.
We're not the type of people